Here we go. Welcome to Jackal's Wrestling Entertainment Pod. I'm Caleb,
Jeremiah.
and we're going to jump right into it. We had an eventful week of WWE wrestling, and especially Monday Night Raw. You you talk about the main event. We'll talk about the main event, but what can we expect from as we get we talk on Raw?
Great show. They really worked out all the, stops and all the party for the Madison Square Garden back-to-back shows. You had Monday Night Raw, then you had NXT the next night, or maybe across from the Garden, the theater as they called it, but still, it was just an awesome two great shows that really stuck out.
It was. We kicked the show off with Jey Uso against Grayson Waller, and after the match, after a pretty good showing from Grayson Waller as well, after Jay would win, we would see Gunther jump Jey Uso and try to put him to sleep. What'd you think of this match, and what'd you think of Gunther's sneak attack?
I'm with you. It was a good match, good showing from Grayson Waller. Just looks like he's really improved in this last month. In ring, we know he can go, on promos. But Jay picked up, like I said, the sneak attack from Gunther. But I like how it has stuck to Gunther's words way back after Jay won Royal Rumble. He said, if you pick me, every week I'm going to make your life hell on the way to WrestleMania. And Gunther has done that. He has kept his word. He attacks Jey Uso. Any chance he gets, he makes fun of Jey Uso. Just saying, he's stuck to his word so far.
You have to wonder if Gunther's trying to get that doubt to creep into Jey Uso, like, I can't beat this guy, and every chance he gets, he's attacking me. You have to wonder if that's what's starting, what Gunther's trying is to get that doubt in Jey Uso's head.
Oh, it has to be. We've also seen just this bullying, and we'll talk about later on in week 2, but we've seen more in-ring action from Gunther than I think most of his reign. To be honest, he's been in matches pretty much weekly. And like I said, we'll talk about one a little bit later on.
Next up, we had Logan Paul come out for a promo. He was trash talking the New York crowd. AJ Styles would make the save for the New York crowd and the celebrity. Do you remember what?
Andrew Schultz.
Andrew Schultz. And I think it's leading to a Logan Paul AJ Styles match. But what do you think of this segment? And do you think we'll see that Logan Paul AJ match at WrestleMania?
Oh yeah, I most definitely do. You look Logan Paul for the last 3 or 4 WrestleManias. I'd have to say he's had some kind of match on the card. And AJ Styles just got back at Royal Rumble, and I think right now you're leading to that. Logan Paul was treated. He, ironically enough, didn't want none of AJ Styles, and were treated to the back. AJ Styles, like I said, got popped from the crowd. But yeah, I think we're most definitely leading to a WrestleMania match. And man, that should be an awesome match. Just think about the athletic ability of both of these men in that ring. We see, Logan Paul does the jumping over the rope clothesline, and we know the phenomenal forearm from AJ Styles. So it's really a way to see who might hit first.
Yeah, that's true. Except we had what I thought was one of the best matches of the week. We had the New Day versus Mysterio and Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, in a no-holds-barred tornado tag, I guess, not no-holds-barred, but the match went everywhere. But then we saw a masked character come out and jump Rey Mysterio that seemed to be Chad Gable, but later on in the show, we would see Chad Gable claim it's not him when he would point out someone else wearing that same exact mask. What did you think of the match? And was it Chad Gable?
It was not Chad Gable because, like he said, it wasn't him. We saw the guy with a mask back there being escorted by security, so I think that proves Mr. Gable's innocence. And yeah, awesome match. Fun match. Texas Tornado in the Garden again. Like we said, just big time fill of a show, which really we're talking with NXT 2. They really made it feel like a pay-per-view the next night. But yeah, awesome match. Dragon Lee got to team up with his mentor. And yeah, like we've been talking about all year, this Rey Mysterio New Day rivalry just keeps getting better. And I really hope we have some culmination or payoff at WrestleMania because all the talents deserve that big spotlight to really finish this rivalry off.
They do, yeah. It'd be a really good WrestleMania match. Like you said, I love just how this rivalry's built. We've seen it, as we've spoke on the last few weeks, we've seen it in some main event segments on Monday Night Raw.
Exactly, and it's just kind of been going all year, really, to think about, ever since Rey Mysterio kicked them out of the locker room in some way or form. The New Day have been targeting Rey Mysterio all year. Like I said, even main event, we go back to when Rey lost to Logan Paul in that Chamber qualifying match. The New Day jumps Rey Mysterio as Raw goes off air.
Yeah. Next up, we had a Cody Rhodes promo. What'd you think of this Cody Rhodes promo?
I thought he did a good job again, like we were talking about last week. Cody's really carrying the torch right now. John Cena's not there. Rock's not there. Cody's keeping eyes on the rivalry, on the product, keeping you invested, and just passionate. We know some history of him and his dad at the Garden. His dad, I believe, when he took on Billy Graham, was in the Garden, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I think so.
So a lot of history there, the world's most famous arena. And like we said, just Cody's just really right now carrying this rivalry. I guess we're going to see John Cena this upcoming tomorrow afternoon on Raw, I should say, for those on the East Coast. It'll be 3 o'clock on Netflix.
Should be interesting. That'll be interesting to see like how many people watch Raw live when it's 3 o'clock. That'll be an interesting number to see if they somehow have numbers on that. But next up, we had Raquel Rodriguez become the number contender for the Women's Intercontinental Championship by beating Bayley. What do you think of this match? And do you think Raquel can capture the gold and become a double champion?
Good match. Yeah, Raquel won, by some questionable methods. Yeah, I mean, right now, if you had me to pick, I'd pick a favorite in this match. Valkyria's done great, but I'd have to go for Raquel. I mean, the experience, the power, and the Judgment Day. So it's hard to bet against those odds. Lyra might want to get some help, get some allies to help her, because Liv's going to be out there, but that's not just counting. We don't know Dom, Carlito. I don't think Finn is much, but those other two most definitely could play a role. Dom played a role in them winning the take title, so
yeah, that's
that
true.
way Dom help her possibly get another title.
Speaking of Dom and the Judgment Day, as you were talking about Dom got Finn Balor an Intercontinental Championship match for this upcoming Monday Night Raw. How do you think that's going to go? And why do you think, it seems like there's been some issues in the Judgment Day, but why do you think Dom got Finn in the Intercontinental Championship match and not himself one?
Well, I think Dom's just trying to kind of maybe make up for those issues with Balor, since he's been yelling at him. Well, they've been going back and forth, not so much yelling, but then Dom keeps saying, maybe we need another member. Finn's like, no, we're good. So maybe he's just trying to, Dom did lose Finn his take title rematch opportunity. So maybe this is his way of, we're turning him in favor. Yeah, well, you can't go for the take titles, but I got your, single shot. And but then again, it is easier said than done because Braun Breaker's a beast. So Finn Balor has a tough road ahead of him tomorrow.
This is why I think it could be, just because we know Dom's dirty and conniving, and there's always an angle. I don't think he's doing this to patch things up to Finn. I think he's doing it to trap Finn. I think he wants Finn to get beaten and broke down by Braun Breaker, then the Judgment Day is going to turn on him.
Wow. Some very serious accusations you just put out there.
Yes, bold prediction. Next up, we had what I thought was a great promo between Bianca, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley. We spoke on this that it could be a triple threat at WrestleMania, but what'd you think of this promo? And I just think it was not only good, but like the second or fourth straight Bianca promo that's just really stolen the show on Promo Walk.
Yeah, she has. I mean, she's done a great job with that, like you said. I mean, not even just a promo, just even horse selling and reactions in that chamber pod when Jay jumped Naomi and all that was going down. Just really showing some great, acting chops and promo ability on Bianca's end. But no, I think it was foreshadowing. I still think we're going to have a triple threat. Adam Pearce earlier today announced the contract signing for Io and Bianca tomorrow in Raw. I don't think that's going to go down smoothly without Rhea making her presence known. And Io just got tired of the disrespect from both of them and said, hey, I'm the champion. And she was the last one standing, walking out there, getting the respect she does deserve, and she felt she deserved by both of them just acting like she wasn't there and just disrespecting her.
Next up, we have what you were waiting for last week, and I know you're waiting to talk about it this week. We had Seth Rollins, CM Punk steel cage match. After a long, really awesome, great steel cage match, Seth was the winner because Roman pulled him out of the cage and started beating the daylights out of him. Then Roman saw his wise man, Paul Heyman, in there checking on CM Punk in the ring. So Roman Reigns would enter the steel cage and beat the daylights out of CM Punk too. Not as bad as what Seth got, but was sending a message. I think it was letting Punk know, this is my wise man.
Yeah, no, exactly. First off, that cage match could main event any pay-per-view, WrestleMania, any pay-per-view. It was just a great cage match. I mean, finisher after finisher, near fall, just two men really hating each other. Some language we could see the censors got some, Dick get some. But yeah, just really showing how much these men hate one another. Roman Reigns, gave Rollins the victory. He did not feel like a winner for long. Afterwards, once he realized what happened, Rollins tried to take off, but to no avail as Roman caught him. Like you said, beat the daylights out of him, was going to do worse had the security and officials not came out. But then, like you said, from the way I get to it, and a lot of people do, and you said so yourself, Reigns had no intentions of going after CM Punk. This was all about getting Rollins back until he looks in there and sees his wise man seeing if CM Punk's okay. That did not set well with Roman at all. He went in there, like you said, beat up Punk. But according to Wise Man on SmackDown, we will hear from Roman next week on SmackDown explaining his actions. But Punk also, I believe, treated Hibbyville as well because he has...
It's going to be very interesting.
He has problem with Roman now, which you can't blame him. Not only did he cost him a match, but he attacked him afterwards. And yeah, no, I think we will see this awesome triple threat. Possibly could be the best WrestleMania non-title triple threat match ever, just because of the star power on this.
Yeah, and then what you mentioned, he did lose Punk the match. So Punk kicked out of multiple corpse stomps. Seth Rollins kicked out of multiple go-to sleeps. But now, because of what Roman did, their matches are knotted at 1-1. And
That's
if you're
true.
Punk, you have to feel you could have put this behind you if you go up 2-0 on this. That there's nothing else proved. But now it's 1-1. Now it's even. So it's going to be interesting to see where that goes next.
That is true. They still have to, even if it was a triple threat match, you still have to have that bubble match down the line, that one-on-one match.
And I'm ready for it because they've had two classics in my opinion.
I'm with you there. And so far they've been on Raw. So I mean, that's just awesome pay-per-view quality matches we've seen on Raw. So cannot complain about that at all.
Next up, like you said, it was like a pay-per-view. The NXT Roadblock event. We kicked off the show with the Hardy Boys retaining their TNA Tag Championships against NXT Tag Champions Fraxium. What did you think of this match, and do you think we're seeing any more of the Hardys on NXT?
Awesome match. And to answer your question, Matt Hardy, I was reading, said that right now, at this moment, there's not any more things planned on NXT for the Hardys, but there are plans still working with WWE that he'll leave you at that.
Oh, wow.
So I'm not sure exactly what he means by those words, or what might be, he might be cooking up maybe something possible on Raw or SmackDown. But that's his words on his podcast as of, I read this morning, so I'm guessing they probably aired yesterday, the episode. So I don't know, but man, that was a great match. I mean, he really gave it that big event feel, pay-per-view feeling, the crowd went nuts for the Hardys. Fraxium gave one heck of a fight. Jeff Hardy just outsmarting them towards the end, pulling Nathan Frazier there to get that Mr. Dropkick for Maxium. Really was kind of a beginning of the end for Fraxium. But no, just awesome match. And most definitely look forward to seeing, I know we'll see more Hardys somewhere in the WWE as the year goes on. But yeah, just what way kick off a show.
Next up, we had Jordan Grace put down Roxanne Perez. Do you think this is the last we see of them two battle? It's a very good back and forth match.
In NXT, yes. I believe everyone was saying it was Roxanne's swan song to NXT. But I don't think, period, no. I think potentially on the main roster, if they are both on the same roster, just somewhere down the line, I think they'll cross paths again, because I truly believe they're two futures of the company in women's division going forward. Like you said, awesome match. Roxanne. I can't wait to see what she's going to do on the main roster. I really hope we get the Roxanne and Bailey match at WrestleMania because that would be awesome.
That would be. I'm with you. I'd love to see that match. Next up, we had Battle of Powerhouses. We spoke on this, talking about how good it was going to be, but we finally got to see it. We got Obafemi against TNA X Division Champion Moose for the NXT World Championship, and Obafemi walked away the winner, but what a match it was.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, it's just two big powerhouses going at it, destroying each other. We saw Moose almost got the count out victory. Booker T saying he could have not take could have just taken that victory. Joseph and Graves pointed out, no, you cannot win the title on a count out victory. Book, but no, awesome match. I'm just interested to see. So will Oba now come for Moose's title? Well, will we see? I'd love seeing another match.
Me too.
Again, between these two, that was an awesome, fun match. And again, like we said, you had two Fanes that normally would have main evented an episode of NXT, possibly even been main events on NXT pay-per-views, but this show was just so stacked that we're not even to the main event yet.
That's true. That's true. Next up, we had a big street fight between Javon Evans and Ethan Page, and this was weapons used. This was gory. This had everything. This ended with a springboard like cutter, honest with Ethan Page's head wrapped in a steel chair, and Javon Evans, got the win. But what did you think of this match in general? But just how brutal this match was. What's your opinion on the brutality we saw and just the match in general? And is this over? Is the rivalry done? Did Javon Evans put Ethan Page behind him?
First, like I said, awesome match, brutal match. Getting another, like I said, would have normally main evented NXT. This, like we said, this felt like a pay-per-view. This match was everything like you'd expect in a New York street fight. Very violent. And yes, I do. I think that's it for this. I mean, I just honestly, it just seemed like it was a kind of match that would end a rivalry. The way that he did it, I don't know. I mean, this is just my own speculation here. I wonder if that was Ethan Page's last match in NXT.
Interesting.
Just you put Javon Evans over so strong, and yeah, like I said, I mean, it looks like because I don't know how Ethan Page comes back from this and that rivalry, or possibly if this was his white off in NXT. We next see him maybe on Raw SmackDown after WrestleMania.
That'd be interesting.
But a huge win for Javon Evans. He needs to see where this momentum takes him, possibly a North American Championship match, possibly even a shot to Obafemi. I mean, great match and huge win, the biggest win of his career to date for Javon Evans. But yeah, I don't see Ethan Page coming back from that in this rivalry, at least.
No,
that's a definitive rivalry ending right there.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, and it would be interesting to see Ethan Page up on Raw or SmackDown. We know he can get there.
Exactly.
We know he has the talent.
Promos, the wrestling skill. Can't wait to see him eventually mix it up. I think it's going to be sooner rather than later myself.
I do too. I'm with you. Next up, we saw the main event. We saw the WWE NXT Women's Champion Julia against NXT Women North American Champion Stephanie Valcourt in a winner takes all, and Stephanie Valcourt walked away champion. Two questions here. What did you think of the match, and what's next for Julia? Because we saw her lose her WWE World Women's Championship in NXT, but is she going to the main roster? Is she staying on NXT? What do you think's Julia's next step, and what do you think of the match in general?
Awesome match. Both women put on a great show. Very well-earned victory for Stephanie. Julia, that's tough. From what I've read, it was she's dealing with an injury and some visa issues at the moment. So, I don't know. But, I mean, honestly, I don't think there'd be any problem if you just, after this, she gets everything straightened out, you put her on the main roster. I believe she's ready. I believe she could hang. up there with the women on there, and Charlotte won the NXT women's championship. I mean, she could stick around, try to do it again, but it would not surprise me if you're not on something. I mean, depends on when we see her. If you don't see her by Stand and Deliver or at Stand and Deliver, I think you might see her on the Raw or SmackDown after WrestleMania, because we always know those are huge shows to watch with Torns and NXT call-ups. So that would not surprise me. We know she can go.
And what about Stephanie Valcour? What's next for her? She's a double champion. Is she defending both belts at the same time? Is she defending one belt at a time, possibly 2 times on a pay-per-view?
I'm going to go with the latter. I think it will be like that. I think it will be like when we saw Seth Rollins with the United States and WWE Championship a decade ago, or even Becky, 2 belts. And everyone said, is she first woman since Becky to have 2 singles titles? And no, unless you count, I don't know, unless you count because they were unified. Because Mandy Rose, someone pointed out, had the NXT Women's Championship and the NXT UK Women's Championship, and those were unified. I don't see these 2 being unified because the Women's North American Championship is so new, and Raw and SmackDown even followed suit by doing that. So I don't see it being unified. So I guess it matters what way you look at it for that question. But no, I think she defends one at a time. I don't think we're going to see a unification. I mean, right now we could possibly see her defend one against Jada Parker and one against Jordan Grace, possibly at Stand and Deliver.
Ooh, that'd be
Those
interesting.
2 women are walking in the shadows.
And next up here for SmackDown, we kick SmackDown off with LA Knight talking, promo, celebrating his U.S. Championship win. He was interrupted by Jimmy. They were interrupted by Solo, Jacob, and Tama. And then, of course, we saw the Monster Among Men come out. It would make a 6-man tag where we would see LA Knight, Braun Strowman, and Jimmy Uso defeat the New Bloodline. What'd you think of the promo? What'd you think of the match? And where's this going for all 6 men?
Man, I don't know. I thought it was a very cool promo. I like to see Jimmy Uso putting his name in the hat for a singles title. We know what Jay's done. Jay's won, the Intercontinental title. He won Royal Rumble. He's going to challenge Gunther. Jimmy's trying to make his singles name for himself, and I think he has, like you've said out, a great series of matches with Drew, Mello. We've seen Jimmy just kind of stick out more in singles competition, which is awesome. And then, I don't know, you have questionable ethics for Dom. I'm still questioning Solo's intentions here, because right now, he went from all him, he was the tribal chief, we know he's not, but now he's all Jacob. You ruined Jacob's chance, this and that, so I'm just interested to see where that's going to go. But Jacob has continued to make an enemy out of Braun Strowman. And I know Jacob's a bad man, but you don't want to tick off a monster, so it's just interesting. You have a lot of variables here. Where is everything going? Right now, you might have these 6 men intertwined, because LA Knight's been going after even when it was just Tama and Fatu before he got his title back. Jimmy wants the United States title, like you pointed out. Jimmy has rivalry with the Bloodline, and the Bloodline has ticked off Braun Strowman week in and week out. So, be very interesting to see where this all does go.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Next up, we had surprisingly a pretty decent match. We had B-Fab against Charlotte. After the match, Tiffany Stratton would try to get the payback. Charlotte's been jumping her after her rivalry with Nia, even with Trish there. Charlotte's been jumping her. They would brawl throughout the night even after this. But what'd you think of the B-Fab Charlotte match? And what'd you think of the brawling through the whole arena, Stratton jumping off multiple fanes onto Charlotte at multiple different times?
First off, like you said, hands out, congrats to B-Fab. She's really improved. Went from just a manager to she started training Wesso, and she did. She had a good match with Charlotte, one of the best women to ever do it. And but no, I love this continuous theme. Like I said, it was happening that we saw it later on in the night too. But no, Stratton wants her pound of flesh, because, like you said, Charlotte has jumped Stratton every chance she's got after she said she was going for her at WrestleMania after winning Rumble. So Stratton's had enough, and I think these jumps and way is just an awesome, athletic thing that she can do. That's really helping Horse stand out. Do, like I said, almost Jeff Hardy-esque swanton off of stuff. So the crowd's behind her now. She's doing something even more that makes her stick out. It's really establishing her as a face. So no, I think it was awesome, and it's really building up anticipation to this dream match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Next up, we had Miz TV. Well, it was supposed to be Miz TV. Miz was supposed to have Cody Rhodes on Miz TV. Well, right when Cody came out, he ended up hitting Miz with a crossroads and just cut his own promo. What did you think of this segment?
I feel bad for Miz a little bit. Yeah, it's supposed to be his moment. Already, once, like you said, they had stopped it, but Vince Stratton and Charlotte came back out doing that segment. Yeah, Cody's just not having it. He just made short work of a Miz. He's doing his time. He's waiting. He is pretty much saying he's going to see John Cena Monday night. He wants his explanation from him. He wants to know, why he did what he did. And again, like we said, Cody is carrying this right now until we see John Cena or The Rock. So, yeah, just great. And then Cody's doing a great job of carrying it by himself too, showing why he is right now the face of a company.
Next up, we had pretty good match. We had Damian Priest against Shinsuke Nakamura. But before we could see the finish of the match, we would see Drew McIntyre jump Damian Priest. What did you think of this match? And we keep saying it, but you think it's going to happen? Damian Priest and Drew at WrestleMania?
Oh, I believe it's going to happen. I mean, it's most definitely looks like that's the road we're heading down. And yeah, great match. Shinsuke just lost the U.S. title. A lot of people are saying, is he going to be there? Is he not going to be there? I don't know, but for right now, just enjoy the chance that you are seeing right now, because people, I don't know why they're cutting up his ring, not enough defenses, maybe, but still, he defended it in Japan. He had it since November. Whenever he was on there, he always puts on a good match, good show. And him and Priest, I hope we get to see a decisive finish to that match one day. But yeah, a fun match. And like I said, Drew and Priest most definitely are going to happen at WrestleMania. And I can't wait for it. And then Drew himself was doing what you were talking about last week or week before, when you said, well, if they really do have something here, if they acknowledge the history. And that's what Drew did in that video package. He acknowledged the almost year-long history since last WrestleMania of Priest just seeming to capitalize on all of Drew's misfortunes for the last year, and even so, ending Drew's chances to main event WrestleMania 2 times this year. So yeah, they're going with that, and that's great. That's what you do. You build on stories, you bring back your history, and people are saying it's a code match. No, it's not. This has been a year in the making. To finally have him go one-on-one is going to be an awesome match.
Yes. Next up, we had Carmelo Hayes versus Randy Orton. We had Randy Orton come out for victory, and then we would see Kevin Owens try to get a attack on Randy Orton, but Randy Orton would foil his plans. What did you think of this match, and what did you think of Kevin Owens trying to sneak attack for Viper?
Yeah, a good match again. Like I said, Melo just keeps, win or lose, Melo does not miss, because every time he's on TV or having a match, he's doing a great job. Awesome matches. You really just see how good he really is. Stupid mistake at the end. Randy Orton offered him a handshake. Melo, being Melo, no. Took it out to RKO. Almost took that punt kick had it not been for Kevin Owens working around. And yeah, Kevin Owens got RKO'd, almost got punted at Chamber. Kevin Owens is not going to let that go. He's going to looking for his pound of flesh, so to speak, now. Although he's one that started it still, that's Kevin Owens. He wants Randy, and we, again, like you talked about Drew and Priest, I can't wait to see Randy and KO at WrestleMania, because that's going to be awesome.
That's going to be a good one. Next up, we had Gunther come out. He cut a promo. He called out A-Kid, the hometown guy, and, well, Axiom, and then we had a Gunther Axiom Improv 2 match on SmackDown. I thought this was pretty good. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. I thought it was a nice surprise. You have a World Heavyweight Champion on Raw in a match against one half of the NXT Tag Champions on SmackDown. So, no, I thought that was really cool, and I guess it's harking back to in 2021, A-Kid, back when, like I said, Axiom, it's his old gimmick, took on Gunther for the UK Championship.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So I guess that was a call back to that. I didn't know that either until I was reading that. So no, a really good match. And Axiom, put on a heck of a show against world champion. Just, again, like we talk about how good him and Nathan Frazier are, but not just as a tag team, but individually too. These guys are really good wrestlers. And no, that was fun. That was a nice surprise. It really was.
It was pretty neat, and like you said, a great start for Axiom, NXT Tag Champion, for his first main roster match to be a match where he took the world champion to the limit. Next up, we had Paul Heyman promo where he kind of explained some of what went on, but he said Roman Reigns would be there himself to explain his actions. But what did you think of this Paul Heyman promo?
Man, I thought it was really good. Like you said, just kind of a foreshadowing and precursor. We'll see Roman next week on SmackDown. I want to point out something else. Any game was out there, or if you're playing WWE 2K25 and you go on the showcase and Paul Heyman's now waiting and he's hosting it, and you do a match and you do Royal Rumble 22, Roman and Rollins, and on there, Paul Heyman cuts a promo saying he's not going to have fun, he's not going to do like he did introduce on these other matches, he's going to be serious. And in that promo, he said, if Roman and Rollins ever cross paths again, you'll no longer see Seth freaking Rollins, no revolutionary, no visionary. It will be the end. You'll only be able to see him in the game, was Paul's words. Now, he wasn't that quite intense on SmackDown yet, but I just want to say, if you play the game we have, or even you just look up on YouTube, watch that promo, because that promo really plays into what's going on right now from the game. And there's just, again, if you look at history, they always do, you go back June of 2014 when Seth Rollins put that chair across Roman's back, then it hit Ambrose, but that first shot was to Roman and destroyed the Shield. And Roman has never forgotten that. Even though they had some reunions, Roman has held on to that, as we saw when he lost his title last year, and even now. But now you throw CM Punk in there, which, if you go back to your history there, CM Punk brought the Shield into WWE. So this match, it's just going to be fun. I can't wait to see
It's packed
how
with
this...
history.
Yes, he is.
Next up, we saw the Street Profits finally. It seems like it's been forever, but they finally captured Tag Team Gold by defeating DIY. What do you think of this match, and what do you think of the Profits, the new Profits we call them, because this new attitude that they have, this new style even of wrestling? What do you think of it?
Oh no, a great match, and no, I thought it was awesome. I think it's been about almost 5 years or 4+ years, they said, since they've had Take Gold, and like you said, this new aggressive style, more different than any side we've ever seen of them. Even more aggressive than when they were with Lashley a few years ago. And no, it's good for them. They're a great tag team. They're back on the top of, like we say, a very stacked, very awesome tag division on SmackDown. And right now, the Machine Guns are calling their shot, but Pretty Deadly are next in line. They won the triple threat match last week, so at some point, I don't know when, we will see Pretty Deadly take on the Street Profits. So that should be very interesting.
It should be a good tag team match.
But no, well deserved for the Profits.
Now we jump into you have the match of the week and the MVP of the week. Who do you have?
Oh man, this is tough. We had some dang good matches this week. I'm going to have to go for Raw, that cage match. Just like I said, that could main event any pay-per-view. Just awesome match. Then we have to go to NXT, and I'm going to have to go with I'm gonna have to go for Harties against Fraxium. I'm gonna have to go with Obafemi against Moose. I'm gonna go for that street fight, and I'm gonna have to go with main event title versus title match. Just like I said, that was a pay-per-view quality. NXT just had like multiple pay-per-view main events on one show. And then SmackDown, you have to go with that Gum4 Axiom match, and you have to go with your main event tag team title match with the Profits and DIY. And it was a great week of action, of wrestling, I believe. and all very good matches. But I have to go with that Punk and Rollins steel cage match. That was just like I said. That honestly could have been a WrestleMania main event. The finishers, the kickouts, and then ramifications of even afterwards what happened. Just for longevity, see where that goes on with WrestleMania. And this is tough. I was thinking of two people for MVP this week. And I'm going to have to give it to the Profits because it's been a long road, and we've just seen them step up their game and finally get those tag titles back. And like we said, they don't complain. They showed up. They'd put whoever over. They'd always do great matches, put on great shows. And now you just see this new side of them really amped up their game. So yeah, I have to give MVP to the Street Profits. A well-deserved title win.
I like it. For this fallback match, especially if it being 316, wearing the Austin short, I'm going to go a match probably a lot of people haven't really seen, underweighted match, but Survivor Series 2000 against Triple H. It ended in a no contest, and Triple H would be dropped from a forklift when he's in a car, and they would have it like Triple H got destroyed, like he was just dropped from an extreme height. But awesome match, and it went to no contest. So that's going to be the match of fullback match of the week.
That was an awesome match. Fun. Attitude Era Chaos at its best. But that was Stone Cold's prime.
Yes, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.